Hi, welcome to another video on my fischertechnik monorail with control by a robo interface and the BeagleBoard running Ubuntu Linux. Last time I decided to replace the power cord to the motor of this carriage by actually two rails, and that was realized by actually one wire to the power rail and a wire to the ground rail, and here on the carriage one wire to the motor touching a rod that is connected to the power rod or power rail, and another wire connected to another rod which is sliding over the ground rail. And it is all quite nicely, however there are a few things that do not work really nicely. One thing is this wire. It has to be somewhere here, because here you already see it gets hooked up against this standing. The other thing is that it turns out that it goes rather slowly, and last time it already showed that extending the time for the propeller to run to 6 seconds doesn't even make a dent in the running time. It's not coming close, and apart from that there's another problem, or there are more problems. One thing is that this rod is coming off the support, so I probably need to change this. And a much more serious problem is that the lights, this one, and this one, were not doing anything last time I tested. Then my thought was to move this here, so this spring with the rod touching the power rod, but I think it would be a very nice solution to bring this rod for the ground rail into the middle. So in order to accomplish that, I have another spring and some material to try and get it in here in the middle, pointing the other way, of course, since I already have a rod taking the power from this one, which means that I have enough material and stuff to think about and take care about. And one of the easiest is of course this rail, and this one should be lying nicely in its bed, so I'm trying to get it done like this, which is much better. The question is, will this run as nicely just with the hand? Oops, and you see the wire gets stuck, and that's big serious oops. So despite that, I think that is the first thing I need to address. So, well, the rod there is has been addressed now, I hope, but the wire has to be rerouted, and I think I'll combine that with reconstructing this with the to something like this with a spring. So let me do that. So let's see how this reconstruction and rewiring goes. First of all, I have to take off this part, and being careful. Now, one thing that I have to keep in mind is that this also took care of some instability. So now I have to make sure that it doesn't create a very big instability. I have to take out this rod and this part as well, where it is in. Take the spring and put it like this, then mount it in here, and then I'll have to see that it actually works. So that is one thing, and this may become a big oops, but when you don't try, you don't know. And okay, this has to be much higher. So this is one thing. And I actually need another one. And this may do it. So let's just try. And I have to keep in mind that the wiring is alright. So far, more or less so good. And then I see a problem looming, because this, let me shine some more light, this rod for the ground is almost touching the power rod, which of course creates a short. So I have to make sure, and that is a problem. So this is not going to be as easy as initially thought. Maybe creating more problems than solving them. So this is one thing. Then once again, the red one. Will this work? Only one method to find out. Powering the whole thing. So let's run the program. I have power on this LED, I have now power here, I have power here, and I have power here, so the wiring is still correct. But this is doing absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. and that is not what I expected. Does it even have power on these rods? Because no power here is no power here and no power to the motor. One thing, measuring. So with this newly reconstructed thing, let me do some measuring. Absolutely nothing. There's no power. Yeah, alright. There's a connector on the loose on the power grid. So let me quickly fix this. Alright. Measuring again. Once again, 0. Why is this 0? And once again the connector comes off. This is in no way what I expected to see. So is there power? Okay. Let me redirect, refocus the cam. So this connector has come off twice now, but the point is, let me show you on the multimeter. This is the multimeter, and as you can see, it shows 0. Does this show 0? Yes, it shows 0. So how can this be? How can there be absolutely nothing be on this wire? Am I measuring something wrong? I'm measuring volts, that is okay. This is not good at all. And once again it comes off, and I put it back on, but there's no power somehow. And it is a short wire, so I'm going to measure even further on the controller. Do I have power here and here? No, I don't have power. Or I should measure here like this actually. How come I don't have power? One thing, also this light has gone off, all the lights have gone off again. I think I have a serious wiring problem, and I need to address that first. Let me repower or recycle the recycle power on the interface. Does this solve anything at all? Let me check. It doesn't solve anything. So without power I can't do anything. This is oops, diagnosis all over. Yikes. After checking things, I measure again, and I am having actually 10 volts. So power is fine now. The question is now, how much do I have on here? And it actually works. However, how well does it really work? You can see it is not much of a difference. It has definitely power, but the propelling power and here it ends. Here it is powered and I push it forward and there's nothing. I measure here, no power at all. I go back, and at the moment that I actually pass this, it's over. So and that is logical because it is as loose as possibly can. So how to solve this? That is a big problem, and of course I actually need a situation like this. So let me try once again, while I push a little bit here against that part. And I'm pushing against it, and it has power, so that is the problem. But you can also see that the power on that direction is a lot bigger than in that direction. So how do I solve that? And there it goes again. So my conclusion is first that it works with two springs, although I have to be careful. But this is definitely a problem. And the light is a problem, because as I check this, no light, no light. Now okay, do I have light? Not here. Do I have light? Not here, and the other light, the third light, is off as well. But there's no wiring problem, because that works. So how to fix this? I think I may have to add a second motor. One motor for one direction and the other motor for the other direction, or in combination anyway, and then see how that works. I think that may be an excellent idea. because I want equal power in both directions, and if that is the solution, it will be the solution. And then this can be wider apart as well. Anyway, theory is proven. With 2 springs it works. So the question is, with this carriage it goes that way much faster than that way. Solution may be adding a motor. So how do I do that? Well, my idea is like this. Then this gives a little bit of a problem, of course. It should not be anyway going through that. Then again, how to do this? So I need to redo this connector. So I can plug in this one. And that is a problem that I keep getting. And this one as well. So this is one thing. And of course this needs to be fixed. But I have another one as well, which also gets loose, and that is consistently with the wire. I have to improvise on the wires, unfortunately, but once that is done, I hope they will run. It will run. So first of all I have to redo and it may have to do with the wires not being soldered together, but it will have to do for now. Or much thinner wire, that may be the problem as well. If you look at this, how it looks, then you may understand why it just loses the connector each time. But between this and ordering a new real wire is quite a different problem. So now everything is just loose, unfortunately, and I'm hanging it on. So not quite sure how to deal with this right now. But let's just hope it works for the moment. And then I notice this wire as well. So for now it will have to do. So I am starting the program. Okay, this is weird. This is very weird. There it goes again. This is very odd. It keeps going that way. Not quite sure why. With actual double reconstruction, which means actually that the ground touching rod has got a spring and is placed in the middle, and an extra motor, you would expect that it runs flawlessly, and you've seen that that is not the case. One thing that I did change was a sleeping time. So here it has now a sleeping time of 6 seconds, and I am changing it back. I want to change it back. And the question is, to what should I change it back? I think I should put it back to 1. Then here I have 3, which is adequate. Although the point is, of course, that this is depending on whether the light beam has been interrupted or not. And if I look closely, the light beam actually gets interrupted, so that is good. Looking ahead in time towards the other end of the track, the light beam gets interrupted as well, so that is good. Question remains, why is this behavior like this? Here it is 3 seconds, 3 seconds, so that is alright, I think. Here it is 1 second, and the direction is fine. So let me change it to this and let me try again, see what happens, if anything happens at all. Why is this happening? Of course, I start idle again. I have to start this. And they run half speed. So into the direction. So the weird thing is that the propeller direction is propeller speed is absolutely far from consistent, which is very, very weird. Now I've changed the program actually back to what it was, sleeping time. I may change it further, but that is not the main problem now. So yeah, let's get back to the camera once again. So with this closing part of the video, as you can see, the wiring is not optimal at all, but you can also see that my objective has not been met, because for some reason Let's see how it behaves if I put it like this. I have the idea that if I would put two propellers, that the force would be the same in both directions. Right now I can't say it is. They run in both directions, of course, otherwise it would be stand still, but the way it is now, this is not in any way the way I expected it to be. The wires are, ouch, the lamps are working, that much is obvious, as you can see. Also from here, the lamps are working, this one is working, but that is all there is that is working right now. This has to be tuned, fine-tuned somehow, but that's for another time. For now, thank you for watching, and let me end this for now. Oops, it's getting towards the wire, and so I really have to take care how that is done. Once again, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Also visit my Instagram. If you like my videos, please consider to donate to keep my blog and video going on. This will be continued, no matter how, with two motors, with one motor, but it will be. And that's it for now. Bye bye.